Welcome to Grizz's workshop. This great lummox is Grizz.
Not an expert or an exemplar of safety.
This week I'm using up some pallet wood that I had. Had the idea to make myself a little herb caddy, having recently purchased some herbs from the local garden store. So I'm essentially making two troughs and joining them on the side and having a handle in the middle. So these are the first bits. I'm drilling the holes in to attach them to the sides. It's at this point that I realise that in fact I need to cut the wood again, as I've cut the wood too long on these here 4 bits. Well, 2 bits I think actually. It's one of the downsides to having a workstation as opposed to individual workstations that you can go to and use. If you've got just the one worktop like I have, where you have to bring the thing to every time, it's important that you get your workflow right, and if you do make mistakes, then you've got to put the things you're working on away to get the stuff out to then go over the same ground again. But it's a simple assembly, just using screws and glue. Nice and strong. That's the base on the top. And that's the base on the bottom. See, it's currently making 2 boxes to hold the earth in. These hammer-on feet I've had for a while, so I'm just knocking them in. This is the handle I'm making, and it was just a bit wide, so I used my plane just to shave off a bit on the bit that'll be inside the box. Decided that I need to make holes for the handles before I put it in place. I was just going to have these 2 holes and connect them just to make a slot going across. And then halfway through I had the idea of actually making a shape which I've seen often in woodworking, particularly old Gothic woodworking, so I thought that would look quite nice on the top. So I drilled a further hole. Just trying to get it square by eye here and then using that as another reference. Further holes, more screws. Now, even though this is scrap pallet wood, it's safe to go into waste. I've made it into a planter, but I still want to have as much of a waterproof into it as possible. I'm using some black bin bag here, just cutting it. There's a double layer. I already made holes, as you can see, in the base for any water to pass through, so it's a question of just poking the hole through. so the water runs through. And here I'm using some outdoor treatment, which I decided was probably better I put on outside as it's a bit stinky. I mean, as it's pallet wood, it does have a layer of water resistance to it, but all those cut ends need treating especially, and it'll help make any water bead up. So now when it comes to planting, you do want some stone at the bottom to help with drainage. So I start with a bit of gravel and then a bit of grit, a bit of compost, plop the plants in, and then a bit more compost to keep it in place. And I just get my little watering can on it there. Again, this will sink the compost down, allowing you a bit more room to put a bit more compost on top. Now the idea of having it as a caddy means I can move it around to either catch the sun, and then hopefully in the winter it'll go in the greenhouse where hopefully the herbs won't die as they tend to, but we'll see. Thanks for watching.
See you next time on Grizz's Workshop.